Ben Nevis via the CMD Arete is a true adventure. I was absolutely speechless at the scale and beauty of this 11.2 mile circular trail in Fort William in the Scottish Highlands. During this hike, you will conquer two Munros, the Carn Dearg and the tallest mountain in the United Kingdom, Ben Nevis. If your plan this year is to climb Ben Nevis as part of your bucket list, make sure you tick it off by going via the CMD Arete. Most people climb Ben Nevis by a route called the Pony Trail, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing so. However, if you wish to avoid the crowds of people scrambling their way up the trail, the CMD Arete guarantees you stunning views and a more rewarding challenge, whilst avoiding large crowds, whilst ticking off this iconic mountain in the Scottish Highlands. Ben Nevis via the CMD Arete begins at the North Face car park. You follow a trail until you reach a stile. Once you've crossed this point, the mountain you see at the 11 o'clock position is the CMD. You are now beginning your ascent to your first Munro, Carn Dearg. This mountain is gentle enough to start, but it becomes relentless in that, unlike some Munros, there are no points where the mountain flattens out and allows for a respite from the constant elevation. But the views are absolutely stunning, and I was gifted the most glorious day to take her on. There's Nevis over there. Wow. Oh, look, there's sheep down there. No bother to them. Anyway, up that we go. What a day. A short distance from this point is the pinnacle of Carn Dearg, and just look at what Mother Nature gifted me when I reached the cairn at the top of this mountain. With the iconic Ben Nevis hidden behind the mist of the stunning landscape, it truly took my breath away standing there. I'm not a religious man, but I am spiritual, and I hope that when my day comes and I leave this world and into the next, this is what I will see. It was truly a magical moment. As you continue your adventure, you will stand upon and walk along the ridge of the Arete. This breathtaking natural feature will be an exhilarating experience for you as you walk along the top and manoeuvre your way towards Ben Nevis. If you don't have a head for heights, there are some rough-hewn paths just beneath the top of the ridge. Using these paths does not take away anything from your experience. And if you're not used to bagging Munros, I'd highly recommend using them. It takes some time to get along this ridge, but be sure to stop and take in the views before you continue on your journey. Once you're safely across the ridge, you will arrive at the boulder field leading up to Ben Nevis. From here it's a fairly steep climb across boulder fields and a scramble or two. There are metal posts showing the way as you climb. Follow these to head towards the pinnacle of Ben Nevis. You're finally here, and in the distance will appear the cairn of Ben Nevis. It's there where you put a stone on top of the mound and can say you have climbed the highest mountain in Great Britain. I was unlucky on this day in that the clouds obscured the view on that particular day, but it never dampened my joy for a moment. I'd seen so many beautiful magical things on my adventure that it made no difference to my experience in the slightest. I was here, I'd done it, and what a feeling it was to have achieved it. From here it's time to go home. Look for the droves of walkers coming towards you. They are hiking the pony trail, and it's there where you will make your descent back towards the North Face car park. You meet the nicest people in the mountains. I've never met someone whilst climbing Munros that was grumpy or in a bad mood. This is because people who take on such challenges are generally positive people with a half glass full outlook on life. You don't take on a Munro in a bad mood or with a negative attitude, and I find Munro baggers to be the friendliest people you could possibly meet. The descent takes some time, but just look at those views, and the weather was absolutely stunning. Around halfway down the path will fork left and right. You need to take the path to the right. This will lead you to a loching, and from there you make your way across moorland until you find a path. Go left there and keep walking. You will eventually join the path that you began on. If you're unsure going the right way, look for Carn, Dearg and Ben Nevis. They should be behind you. Better yet, I highly recommend using the All Trails app. This will keep you on the correct path throughout your journey. If you're good with maps, then use that instead. As you pass back over the stile you crossed many hours before, be sure to take one last look back at what you have achieved. You have just completed 2 Munros in Britain's most iconic mountain. You have just taken on Ben Nevis via the CMD Arete and won. As you walk back down to the car park, I highly recommend stopping at the stream just before it and dipping your feet. Or perhaps going for a wee dook to refreshing yourself before heading back to your accommodation and a well-earned rest. Following this adventure, you'll discover something about yourself, and it's that you can do way more than you thought was possible, and that any challenge you commit to, and with the right mindset, you can achieve anything. If you see me on the mountains, be sure to say hello. Until then, happy adventures.